Over 60. For cheeses you should never touch, and for that prevent heart attack and stroke, just one slice of the wrong cheese you eat every day could silently raise your risk of stroke and heart attack, even if it's labeled high in calcium or heart healthy. If you're over 60, choosing the right kind of cheese can not only help stabilize your blood pressure but also reduce your risk of artery calcification and brain vessel damage by up to 50% according to cutting-edge research from the Netherlands. The real concern is that most older adults have been eating the wrong types of cheese for years without realizing they are quietly fueling inflammation, water retention, rising blood pressure, and high cholesterol. I've spent thousands of hours reviewing hundreds of cardiovascular nutrition studies from the US, Japan, and Europe. Today, I'll share with you 4 types of cheese you should absolutely avoid after 60 and 4 others that can help reduce inflammation, support healthy blood vessels, and even protect your brain from mini strokes. Stay until the end, and you'll learn how to choose the right cheese at the right time with no extreme restrictions needed and still protect your heart and brain every single day. Let's start with the 4 dangerous cheeses that you must remove from your diet, especially if you are dealing with high blood pressure or cholesterol issues. Danger number 1, processed cheese slices. These individually wrapped cheese slices may be convenient, but they are hardly real cheese, even though they are still legally allowed to be called a dairy product. Most of the time, they contain less than 50% actual cheese. The rest is a toxic mix of emulsifiers, preservatives, artificial coloring, and sodium phosphate, a frightening formula for your health. Just 2 small slices contain more than 600 milligrams of sodium, exceeding a quarter of the recommended daily limit. This type of sodium, called sodium phosphate, has been scientifically shown to be more harmful than regular salt. It is associated with accelerated aging, kidney damage, and an increased risk of cardiovascular disease. In addition, emulsifiers like polysorbate 80 and carboxymelthasyl can disrupt your gut microbiome and trigger a leaky gut, which in turn activates systemic inflammation and may lead to autoimmune and mental health issues. Regularly eating these slices can increase inflammation markers, raise LDL bad cholesterol, and elevate your risk of metabolic syndrome. I once had a patient named Gloria, 69 years old, who came in due to uncontrolled blood pressure, high cholesterol, and persistent fatigue. Every morning, she had a sandwich with 2 slices of this yellow cheese for convenience, until tests showed her blood vessels had already developed plaque and her CRP inflammation markers had doubled the safe threshold. Gloria had no idea the harm came from something so familiar and seemingly harmless that she had eaten for over 10 years. Danger number 2, pre-shredded cheese. You might think that pre-shredded cheese is just like block cheese, only cut into smaller pieces. The truth often surprises people. To prevent the cheese shreds from sticking together and to extend shelf life, manufacturers often add cellulose powder, an anti-caking agent made from wood. While not exactly toxic, cellulose makes it harder for your body to absorb calcium and reduces the digestibility of milk proteins. Additionally, pre-shredded cheese contains high sodium and preservatives like natamycin to prevent mold growth, even though naturally fermented bacteria are exactly what your gut truly needs. Studies have shown that frequent consumption of natamycin can negatively affect the beneficial microbes in your gut. For people over 60, this is concerning because an aging digestive system needs those good bacteria to properly absorb nutrients and regulate inflammation throughout the body, an issue directly linked to the risk of heart attack and stroke. Danger number 3, cheese spreads. Cheese spreads, the kind that come in jars and don't require refrigeration until opened, can last 4 months or even a year, but to achieve that, they trade nutrition for chemicals. These cheese spreads often contain hydrogenated oils, a source of artificial trans fats that are banned in many countries for their harmful effects on the heart. Even the versions labeled trans fat-free are often replaced with interesterified fats, which early research shows may have similar negative effects on fat metabolism and blood pressure. The sodium in cheese spreads doesn't come from regular salt alone, but from a mix of flavor enhancers and preservatives such as sodium phosphate, sodium citrate, and MSG. These compounds cause water retention, raise blood pressure, and place stress on the kidneys, which is especially dangerous for older adults. Danger number 4. Blue cheese. The sharp saltiness and distinct aroma of blue cheese can easily win over any cheese lover. But it is also one of the most damaging types for older adults at risk of heart disease or stroke. Blue cheese is fermented using Penicillium roqueforti mold, which results in abnormally high levels of tyramine and histamine. Both are potent vasoconstrictors that raise blood pressure and increase the risk of stroke, especially for those taking MAO inhibitors or with naturally high blood pressure. 1 ounce of blue cheese can contain up to 400 milligrams of sodium and 10 times the histamine content of other cheeses. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension in 2020 found that consumption of tyramine-rich foods was associated with a twofold increase in the risk of sudden high blood pressure. Among adults over 60, the 4 cheeses that prevent heart attack and stroke. Now, for the good news, there are still other options that are not only safe but can naturally help prevent heart attacks and strokes while still being delicious and backed by science. Hero number 1, aged Gouda. If there is one type of cheese that truly supports heart health according to science, it is aged Gouda. Not only is it rich and flavorful, but it is also an abundant source of vitamin K2, specifically the MK for form. This compound is critical because it guides calcium away from the arteries, where it can cause calcification, and instead directs it to the bones, helping slow down arterial stiffening. A Dutch study published in the Journal of Nutrition showed that individuals with high K2 intake from cheeses like aged Gouda had up to a 50% lower risk of death from heart disease. In addition, aged Gouda contains butyrate, a natural anti-inflammatory compound that helps stabilize gut bacteria and reduce chronic inflammation, a root cause of many cardiovascular conditions. If you are taking calcium supplements or concerned about bone health, try adding a slice of aged Gouda to your meal. Hero number 2, Parmigiano Reggiano. It is no coincidence that Parmigiano Reggiano is called the king of cheeses, aged for a minimum of 12 months. This hard cheese from northern Italy contains a naturally hydrolyzed form of protein, which means it is much easier for older adults to digest compared to fresh cheese. But the most valuable feature of Parmigiano lies in its highly absorbable calcium, balanced phosphorus, and all 9 essential amino acids which help preserve muscle mass and bone density, 2 factors that decline sharply after the age of 60. Furthermore, a 2021 study from the University of Parma discovered that Parmigiano Reggiano contains bioactive peptides that inhibit the ACE enzyme, similar to the mechanism of medications used for lowering blood pressure. This helps reduce pressure on the arterial walls, thereby lowering the risk of hypertension, heart attack, and hemorrhagic stroke. Hero number 3, grass-fed raw cheddar. In the world of cheese, not all cheddars are the same. If you are eating the regular pasteurized and industrially processed kind, then you are missing out on the version that can truly make a difference for heart health. Cheddar made from grass-fed cows and unpasteurized milk, known as grass-fed raw cheddar. This type of cheese is rich in omega-3, CLA conjugated linoleic acid, and especially vitamin K2 in the MK for form, which helps direct calcium out of the blood vessels and into the bones. This is the key process in preventing arterial calcification, one of the leading causes of heart attack and stroke in older adults. Not only that, raw cheddar also contains live enzymes that support digestion, something aging digestive systems desperately need. Hero number 4, Swiss. If you are looking for a type of cheese that is both rich in flavor and protective of your nervous system and blood vessels, Swiss might be the smartest choice. Is a natural source of vitamin K2 like aged Gouda and raw cheddar, but it also offers another advantage. It contains glutathione precursors, compounds that help your body produce glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that plays a crucial role in protecting brain cells and blood vessel walls from damage caused by free radicals. Glutathione is linked to reduced risk of atherosclerosis, Alzheimer's disease, and stroke. A 2020 study in Japan showed that people with higher levels of glutathione had better brain function and a 34% lower risk of mini-strokes after the age of 65, in particular. Tends to be lower in lactose than many other cheeses, and contains natural probiotics that help improve gut microbiota, which is increasingly proven to be closely connected to cardiovascular and brain health. Once you turn 60, every food choice does more than satisfy your taste buds. It shapes your heart health, brain function, and day-to-day quality of life. A piece of cheese that seems harmless could either be a silent ally or a hidden enemy of your heart. Choosing the right cheese is not about strict restriction. It is a smart way to protect yourself. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your loved ones, because one right choice today could prevent a future heart or stroke complication. And if you want to learn more about everyday foods that may quietly undermine your heart health after 60, do not miss the next video.